A few moons ago, Lolo had posted a video of a sick-ass paint job on top of a blaster, and it was purple with that chameleon kind of paint that changed in the light. It looked really, really cool, very reminiscent of something out of like the Covenant would be using in Halo. We seem to be talking about Halo a lot recently, and that's funny because I still haven't played it in years. But the thing is that the blaster that he painted didn't exactly get the recognition I thought it deserved, because I was absolutely blown away by the cut-down Guardian Crossbow. What the hell is a Guardian Crossbow? Well, I should have saved that, shot that part of the video before I cut it down, but I wouldn't have had to cut it down anyway. But it was a very large crossbow that had an open-face 6-shot turret that nobody really cared about. And, well, you see them turn up every once in a while in thrift stores because, well, they're not exactly in high demand, and they were pretty expensive for what they were. But the idea of cutting one down never occurred to me. In fact, I had passed up multiple Guardian crossbows and never once thought about doing that mod. And I'm not quite sure where Lolo got the idea. I hadn't seen it before, but I do know that because of him, I have made what is quite possibly one of the cooler mods you could do. And that's saying a lot, because I really, really like the Strongarm, and yet I really like the idea of the whole cut-down Guardian crossbow. And if that has some super special name, I have no idea what it is. But it's exactly as it sounds. You have a Guardian crossbow, which is a turreted 6-shot rotating blaster, and you cut off the stock, you remove the bow arms, and you make it nice and pretty. Now, why is this interesting? Well, it's pump action. So if you can imagine a pump-action blaster being tiny. Now, pump-action pistols are a thing, and they're a recent kind of fad of mine that I'm kind of getting into. And they're incredibly fun to, mess around with. It's a very, in my opinion, ergonomic way of shooting a firearm or anything like that. So, while I'm not a huge fan of the huge pump-action, shotguns and stuff like that, this is incredibly, incredibly comfortable. And one of the main problems with the Strongarm is that if you're going to shoot it fast with the SLAMFIRE, you basically have to roll it off your hip and just fire as fast as you can, which does not bode well for any kind of accuracy. And if I wanted to shoot over cover, it's, it works. I mean, it probably works better over cover than this thing, but the overall length of the blaster at that point is pretty thick. While at this point, this is incredibly short. In fact, it basically ends at my hand. Which is, well, useful. Now, this is probably not going to shoot as fast as the Strongarm will, but it is still 6 shots, and they're open face, so it's really easy to load them. It is pump action, and it does fire. We'll point this up, and yeah, and it gets standard Strongarm performances. And on top of that, it's got SLAMFIRE. You saw how effortless that was. And here's a Strongarm. It's no slouch either. Yeah, I think a million Hammershot fanboys right there just wet themselves. I don't know why the hell they like that stupid blaster. But holy crap! This thing is incredibly fun. And I honestly don't think a lot of people know about it. I haven't seen it posted on Reddit before, and barely anybody has a Guardian crossbow in their repertoire, so why the heck don't we start doing these kinds of things to them? This is a really dead simple mod to do. In fact, you don't have to take the blaster apart at all. I've measured it. The whole blaster internals kind of end right here. I could cut it down more, but I still wanted that kind of beaver tail on that for comfort. And you just cut it with a bandsaw, and I sanded it down. It's nowhere near as nice as Bobo's, but holy hell is that fun! In fact, it's so much fun that the only thing I think the Strongarm really has is you could do a drop mag to it, and that's not exactly possible with the Guardian crossbow here. But there's one thing I noticed from what I was told is that the internals are very similar to a Strongarm. This is not the case. In fact, looking at this, it doesn't have that stupid thing that has the 2 little tabs that pull back set and then release. So they pull back, they go down, and then they release forward. And if you happen to put a higher spring in here, well, those happen to snap off and you have a useless blaster. It's kind of an own problem with modding the Strongarm. This does not have that. I don't know why I was always told it kind of had the same internals as a Strongarm, but it don't. In fact, the rotational mechanism is entirely different as well. So, honestly, I think you could put a huge-ass spring in this thing and have it absolutely rip and tear. I haven't done it. I don't have a screen to put in it, but holy crap! There's a lot of things that were kind of misconception about the Guardian Crossbow, and now I'm kind of upset it took me this long to find another one to do this mod, because it is super duper fun. So if you happen to come across a cheap Guardian Crossbow, or you're looking for something that's not quite the Strongarm, not quite the hammer shot, and honestly it's the same size and is a little more ergonomic in my opinion, go with a cut-down Guardian Crossbow. It is very, very fun and useful. I can see myself using this way over the Strongarm. Yeah, I don't have the drop mag, but when it comes to reloading, bam, it's faster than a hammer shot. So, this is probably going to replace my pistol of choice for a little while. This is super fun, and I highly recommend if you see a Guardian Crossbow, or you have one, do this mod to it.